We are losing a lot of our young people because of this situation. Must wear our seatbelt, wear our helmet. So we need to reduce those risk factors. We have been giving away our lives on the road, giving it away. Many of whom have their family members who they are living for. Let us use that same impetus and spirit of wanting to live through Corona, to wanting to live as we drive on the road and not put ourselves at risk and not put other people at risk. Let us try to be each other's keeper in this season.
So, while on the road, let's help to protect her life, his life, their lives, and our lives.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please do join us again tomorrow on this same station for more news, features and information you can use. In the meantime, visit our website at gis.gov.jm for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and lend a helping hand where you can in this time of need.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Good evening, I'm Jody Ann Quarry, and this is Lead Story. Happy almost Christmas! For many, Christmas is a season of joy. But long before the gifts are wrapped and the table is set, Christmas is also work. It is production, it is spending, and it is pressure. So tonight on Lead Story, we take you behind the scenes of the season. From the small businesses making Christmas possible to the consumers rushing to buy, to the deeper question of who we actually share the season with. From the Christmas factory to the shopping rush to the Christmas table, this is Lead Story. Now, when we think about Christmas, we think about the finished product, the cake, the sweets, the gifts. But for many small businesses, Christmas starts months before December. Joining us now is Charlotte Troop Smith, entrepreneur and founder of Charla's Savory Sweets. Charla, hi. Thanks for joining us inside Lead Story.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, Charla, and I know that you and your team could be looking well, are looking well, but you must be under stress. Christmas looks festive from the outside, but when does it actually begin for you as a producer who has to now make sure that people get to enjoy the treats that you provide?
Well, Christmas actually starts after Christmas ends the previous year. You know, you have to get your fruits back soaking and everything for the end of the year because you want them to be well done. So it starts directly after Christmas for us. But then, you know, after that process of soaking, then you start your promotion around, say, September, October. And then you start taking your orders. And, you know, we start doing our baking from, say, November because people have their fruit cake. So they order early.
You make fruit cakes, it's clear. You talked about the soaking of the fruits, and that's how the best fruit cakes are made. You have them soaking out for a year in advance. What else are you making?
We also do carrot cakes for the festive season. Not everyone wants their fruit cake. And we do regular cakes as well, because persons tend to want a little bit of everything for the Christmas season.
And as they impress their family and friends, Charla, help us understand how different is a Christmas preparation from what you might do for the rest of the year?
Well, apart from the soaking of the fruit and having things done ahead of time, it's pretty much the same because for everything that we do here, we produce everything. So we have to prep everything. So the Christmas rush now, that's probably a little different because, sometimes, most of the times, people will make their orders early. And then sometimes a lot of people wait until like the day before Christmas before they start putting in their orders. So you have to kind of prep for them when it comes to Christmas. You have your orders, but you also have to do extra so the person who come in late can get. But for the rest of the year, persons just come and make their order as needed.
All right, so you're preparing for the late bugs, you're preparing for your orders in advance, but what does it mean for you to have to put everything together? Do you have to get a new team or additional people on hand, additional equipment? What does that look like to meet the demand?
Well, for us here, we have adequate equipment to run off the Christmas season. Sometimes we do get additional staff. If it becomes a little bit overbearing. But this year it hasn't been so bad. I don't know if it's a storm, but the orders have not been as great as years before, but we are still grateful.
That is a reality for many Jamaicans, that Hurricane Melissa would have changed the way that they are celebrating Christmas and the things that they're able to do. How has that impacted your team there, having to deal with Hurricane Melissa and the realities, but also then being so involved in the festive season?
Well, for my staff here, they have not been affected directly, but indirectly we are all, our hearts go out to those who have been affected by Melissa and losing everything and so forth. But for us this year, we normally decorate the shop and do a little extra and everything. This year, it kind of isn't, we're not really in that much of a Christmas spirit because it's hard to celebrate when others are out there and they don't really have. So we haven't decorated this year or anything like that. Even in my own home, we kind of scaled down Christmas, just in solidarity with those who can have a happy Christmas as always.
That then, with a sense of compassion, means that you're looking at Christmas, but you're also looking at the costs of Christmas because things for some have gone up. Have you been able to acquire all the resources you need? So the eggs, the flour, and have you seen shifts in prices for the inputs in your baking business?
Yes, prices have increased, especially for the eggs and the fruit. Eggs have gone up drastically. I believe it's directly because of the hurricane. Normally in December, eggs normally go up, but now that there's such a great shortage, the price has really increased a lot. So for the eggs, yes, and basically everything has gone up a bit, but we normally experience that every year during December time.
It's then interesting to see how you've been able to manage your prices for your customers. How are they reacting and responding to now you having increased inputs and potentially having to adjust your prices?
Well, the prices have been adjusted. The customers know the quality product that they get. So we still do get the orders because they know that I put my heart in everything that I make here. And it always comes out great and tasty for them. So even with this small increase in price, my customers still come out. Few persons have been asking me for prices before I even started calculations, because normally I do that at the beginning of November, and I didn't do it as early this year as I had done before. And persons kept calling me, what happened to the prices? I need my cake, and they put in their order anyway, even though they don't know what the price is going to be. It's just, once you give a quality product, the customers are going to put in their order.
And the customers seem to then be loyal enough to you that when they hear the prices, they close their eyes and say, we know Charla's cakes are going to be worth it. You're going to go ahead and buy it anyway.
Yes, I heard this one young lady, someone was offering her a cake. She met me in the store. Someone was offering her a cake to buy. And she said, if Charla making me, no want it. So, the customers, I do have my loyal customers, and I really appreciate them.
Let's talk about then what it costs you and your team to do all the baking and the preparation, prepare for the late bugs, deal with those early customers for the Christmas season? Because that looks like a lot. How are you and your staff dealing with all what it seems like is extra work for this Yuletide season?
Well, we manage well. Normally we would have gone home already, but because of the orders and stuff that we have to do, we have to stay back sometimes a little, and that includes a little bonus for the staff. But yeah, we manage and we pace ourselves. We try not to overwork ourselves so that we're too tired. But we do pace ourselves and we bake over a period. So we don't do everything one time. We manage our time wisely.
I'm glad to hear that, especially that bonus comment for your team members that are there helping and making sure that Christmas for so many people can be lovely and bright. That Christmas cake is such a vital part of many Christmas traditions. But how does your team manage burnout? Because they've been working hard all year, and when everybody else is slowing down and deciding they're going to relax, this is the time that they're picking up. How do you manage that?
Well, after Christmas, we normally close for a week, so persons have time to revamp. I'm not certain if we're going to close for an entire week this year. However, we should be closed for about 3 to 4 days, just to refresh and rejuvenate over the time period. Because we are all human, we're not machines, we're not made of metal. So we all have to get that rest and rejuvenation to have a, come back and have a good sale.
It's so important that you've made that space for your team afterwards, after you've worked very hard to make sure that you can recuperate. Talk to us then. As a customer who picks up a Christmas treat, picks up that carrot cake that you make, picks up that Christmas cake, what do you wish persons understood when they pick up this cake about the work behind it?
Well, I would hope that they would taste the quality and know that we put our heart and everything into it, and know that every purchase they make would be supporting my dream, which is to keep the space open and to provide wonderful, tasty treats for the people of Portland.
Happy to be able to support you, Charla, as you speak to us about what's going on here. You are clearly supporting the people in Portland, providing employment. Small businesses provide most of the employment we have in this country, but you're also providing delicious treats this Christmas season. Charla Troop-Smith, entrepreneur at Charla's Savory Treats. Thanks so much for joining us inside Lead Story.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. We look forward to being able to have more and more people enjoy your delicious Christmas cakes. This is
Thank you.
A critical part of the season, but we also wanted to make sure that you understand that the Christmas we enjoy, all the cakes, all the sweets, everything is built on labor we rarely see. And so that's been a critical part of us bringing you today's edition of Lead Story. Up next, we are taking a look at how to keep yourself safe, because the scammers are among us, and December is when most Jamaicans are most vulnerable. So, how to keep yourself safe and not get scammed? We'll dig into that next.
As a fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me, and I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Jamaica's unemployment rate has fallen to 3.3%, down from 13.2% in 2016. Our government's continued focus on job creation is delivering real results. We are building Jamaica. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
Thanks so much for staying with us inside Lead Story as we take you through our pre-Christmas celebrations. But we want to make sure you stay safe. And December is when Jamaicans spend the most, and also when they are most vulnerable as consumers. To make sure that you know all it is that you need to do to make sure that you're not distressed come January, we have with us Michael Diamond, CEO of Consumers Intervention of Jamaica. Good morning, Michael. Oh, no, night. Good evening, Michael Diamond, and welcome.
Good evening. How are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for having me. And of course, good evening to your listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. Michael, why is Christmas such a high-risk season for consumers?
Interestingly enough, it is coined the silly season for a reason, because individuals get, so excited that a lot of times they put, basically common sense to the side just to enjoy the festivities. And of course, that's usually to our detriment. So, of course, it is very festive and, everyone wants to be enjoyed with the joys, but yet still there are some ills that comes with this festive season. And we just want to make sure that consumers are reminded. It's not the easiest thing, but one of the key things we want individuals to know is that your first line of defense is actually you. You have to be vigilant. You have to take some personal responsibility for your safety, especially this time of year. And one of the things that we want to stress is the fact that the joy could be met with some disappointments if we don't take the necessary precautions. For example, right now we are getting reports of a lot of individuals being scammed online. So you may want that gift for your loved ones and you see it online and it looks like a bargain. Just be reminded that there's no such thing as a bargain during the Christmas season. If it seems too good to be true, chances are it is.
Michael Diamond, for many people, though, this is Monday. They're looking at Christmas Day on Thursday. They're in a tizzy. They're not quite sure what to do and where to go. So they are hoping that whatever they see is a real discount or some amazing way for them to be able to please their family members and friends. Why is it that you're asking them to be extra cautious then, especially online?
As a matter of fact, guess what? The fact of the matter is that there are individuals that care not that is the Christmas season and they just want to take advantage of you. Online, it's always a situation of bait and switch. They'll bait you with something just to grab your attention. And of course, one of the key things that they use is to make you feel comfortable by saying that you can make a deposit to secure the item. And if in fact you're not satisfied, you can get a full refund. Chances are you will not be able to get a refund. Chances are it's not even a physical location where you can actually make a complaint about. So that's one of the drawbacks and disadvantage of dealing with things online.
But now, is that also the same, Michael Diamond, for Instagram stores and shops, for example, that say no physical location, but we'll ship the thing to you? However, no returns, no exchanges.
All right, guess what? The idea of it is that the scammers know exactly how to look legitimate. So they're utilizing the platforms that individuals are more comfortable and have a perception of safety. So yes, always take those precautions regardless. And the key is, if you've never done business with that particular individual or business, don't do it. Don't do it. I recommend that it's best to be on the side of caution. Prevention is better than cure. So if you've never dealt with them before, chances are just stay away, especially now when things are so chaotic and individuals are vying for your dollars legally and also illegitimately. And of course, the idea of it is that refunds, even though for some people, they believe that Jamaica is like the Wild Wild West and everyone can do whatever they want. Fortunately, we do have law and we do have rules of law, especially when it comes to consumers. And your rights for a refund or making sure that the warranty for that product or service is going to be enforceable is also up to you. You have to make sure that you first ask about what the policies are. If it's an online store, check to see what policies they have published to let you know exactly what will happen in case of a dispute or any kind of discrepancy.
What kind of documentation then do you suggest someone keep if they've made a purchase in store physically or online?
All right. First of all, most importantly, your complaint that you're going to make in the event that it reaches that type of dispute, you must hold on to your receipt. You must have your receipt. Your receipt is evidence that a transaction occurred between you and a particular merchant. And of course, again, make sure you look for some very key things on that receipt. Make sure there's a name of the business, the address of the business, the telephone number, even a business registration number should be on that receipt as well. And make sure it also has a proper description of the item or service that you actually purchased. So it's not to say that we want individuals to just be on the lookout and they don't enjoy the season. Do enjoy the season, but know that personal responsibility is going to play a role in the event that things happen. And things do happen. So when you see a merchant tells you that no refund, exchanges only, that's also a very, 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 very blatant red flag. Jamaica does not have a law that is blanket for no refund. So that right there is a violation of your rights as a consumer. So stay away from businesses that give these blanket notice that no refunds. All right. So we just want to remind the consumers that a no refund policy is illegal here in Jamaica.
I think that's such a good reminder, especially as there are more and more people putting up stores online or creating stores in person and having that policy in place. For many people as well, Michael Diamond, they're watching the season and they're saying, yes, I want to go and get a great discount. I see something, the price is now 50% off, a good 60% off. But you earlier said there are no real sales during this season. Why do you say that? And what should persons be looking out for?
So here's the challenge. The challenge is that we are not yet at the stage where we are doing price monitoring in such a way to know whether or not this is false advertising, misleading marketing to a consumer. Just because a store says sale or bargain 50% off, you have no idea what the previous prices were. So under the consumer law, they are supposed to have the previous price also still on that item to demonstrate to you that there was a 50% discount. So look for those things, because the fact of the matter is that we are not able to be everywhere. We're not able to monitor every particular merchant or every transaction. But the key thing is, if you can, only do business with those who are properly registered. Only do business with those who have basically been around for a while and not just a pop-up shop that will disappear after the Christmas holidays. So it is important that even though you're seeking sales or looking for bargains, you still need to protect your hard-earned dollars, because again, individuals are also working very hard to take that from you, whether it be legally or illegally with false marketing, etc. And if you believe that you've been a victim of such, keep your receipt. Collect whatever information, evidence that you have in order for you to make a proper complaint.
Consumers Intervention of Jamaica certainly then helps us figure out what it is that we should be doing. But as persons go into physical stores, what is it that you want to remind them about keeping themselves safe and their own money safe? Because while we talk about people online who might want to steal from you, there are people in real life who want to do so as well.
Exactly. One of the things that we also want to remind you is that everyone that is around are not necessarily shoppers. They're not shopping for items. They're also basically casing and surveilling individuals who they appear to be doing transaction with, a large amount of cash, unfortunately. And you can be targeted. It may not be at that location. They may trail you to your home. So if you can utilize your debit card for most large transaction, yes, you do that. And again, only with, merchants that are reputable, because you don't want to use a merchant that basically swipe your card and it's a new merchant, you've never done business with them before, and they may be doing things that clearly can scam or fraud you later. So that's important. the key is that large cash transactions, you have to be as careful as possible, because some of those individuals that appear to be, shoppers as well among you are basically watching you. So if you got to do large cash transaction, the best thing is to use a debit card.
I also want to add, if you have a credit card, use that instead, since your debit card is attached to your own money. Your credit card, if you have access to that, is the bank's money. And so the bank will hunt down their money if you have access to that protection.
That is a very unique way of doing things. And I also have to remind our consumers that, guess what? Christmas is just one day, and there is a tomorrow after the Christmas. So the idea of it is that have a plan, have a budget, stick within your budget. If you go out with a budget and a plan, chances are you'll be successful. If not, you may overspend, and you may find that the new year catches you and you don't have any money. You're broke simply because, you were doing impulsive buying, and the bright lights, the glitter, and the music are all things to persuade you, to get those hard-earned money out of your pocket. So don't be too distracted with that. Have a plan, have a budget, and stick to it.
And Christmas will then leave you in a good mood coming January 1.
It can leave you in a good mood. It can leave you in a good mood. And I do want to remind the merchants that, just because it's Christmas, just because individuals appear very giddy and it's a silly season, it doesn't give you a right to take advantage of our consumers. So do know that after Christmas, when individuals are now coming back to you for their refunds, they're coming back to you for their warranty policies to be enforced. Make sure that you comply with the proper rules and the consumer rights, because again, Jamaica is a place of law, and we do enforce laws when it comes down to consumer protection. So the idea of it is that let's all work together and not, again, it's a festive season. Let's be festive, but also be very mindful that we have our responsibilities.
I think that's helpful. For many people, also, they are getting packages that will allow for them to give gifts to themselves or to their loved ones. If you've ordered something from overseas, but you have a package stolen, what do you do, Michael Diamond?
The challenge is that some of those overseas vendors do have a very good policy where in the event you don't actually receive your item, they will replace it for you, without any additional cost. Also, because it's the holiday season, because we just had a catastrophe, deliveries are going to be delayed. So keep that in mind, that you may not get that delivery on time for your Christmas celebrations. So in the event that you don't, or in the event that the package may be delayed, it may not necessarily be stolen, it might just be delayed, but you do check with your carrier. Also, inquire about their policies as well for items that, were not delivered, or items that appears to be stolen. What will happen? Do you get your refund? And if you do use your credit card, you do have an advantage. Some banks will go ahead and protect you where that is concerned. But it's important, again, always check the policies of your online merchants to find out what happens in those situations.
Michael Diamond, as you talk to us in 1 or 2 sentences, what should Jamaicans do this week to protect their money?
Very importantly, always have a budget. Have a budget. Do not travel with large amount of cash. Sometimes cash is king when it comes down to negotiating bargains or deals, but the reality of it is that you can get the same result from using a debit or your credit card. The merchants do want that money. It doesn't have to be in cash. So most importantly, be aware of your surroundings. Again, when you use the ATM, always be mindful that someone is watching you. So it's always best to be on the side of caution. Safety first. Do enjoy the holidays, but put your safety first.
Safety first indeed. Michael Diamond, CEO of Consumers Intervention of Jamaica. Thanks so much for joining us inside Lead Story.
Thank you for having me, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to you too. Next, we'll talk about gifts. You might be running it close, but we'll be able to help you. Men, women, children, the elderly. That's up next here inside Lead Story.
Double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Christmas is a time for sharing with family and friends. And this Christmas, Singer gives you a chance to double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Buy any Frigidaire item from Singer, valued $30,000 or more plus GCT from December 6th to January 10, and get a chance to be one of 6 winners to share $500,000 in prizes. Upgrade your kitchen with our main prizes of a 5-burner stainless steel stove or a side-by-side refrigerator, or get one of the consolation prizes of a freezer or microwave. Shop now. Conditions apply. See the press for details. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting Game and Lotteries Act.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30. Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
We are committed to helping you sort out your Christmas woes, even if we're only a few days out from Christmas. But Christmas giving does not have to mean excess, and it does not have to mean debt, especially as we just heard from Michael Diamond a few moments ago. So to help you figure out your Christmas presents, now joining us is Suzette McGee, owner of Personalized Gifts and More. Suzette, thanks for joining us inside Lead Story.
Thank you.
Suzette, when people come into your store at this time of the year, what are they really looking for?
They're looking for gifts quick and reasonable. So I do a variety of stuff. I do anything to do with stitching and printing, gift items for all occasions. So you can come in, order some, you can wait, some will take some time. However, as you know, the word personalized means that it does take some time, depends on what you're putting on. So I do like push-ons with the names on. So whatever you want to put on. I do the Christmas stockings, as you can see. I also do the teddy bears, the towels, robes, gift baskets. Personalized absolutely any and everything. You almost hear yes for whatever. And I also do alterations. So it's not just a one-shop thing for just gifts. It's a wide variety once considered print or stitch.
I think that's so beautiful for persons who want to give a gift with meaning, that they have someone like you, Suzette, who allows for them to say, I didn't just pick it up out of a store. I thought of you in advance in order to get this from you. But today is Monday, Suzette. Christmas Day is on Thursday. Can someone still come down to you and say, oh my gosh, Suzette, help me. I don't have a gift for this special someone and I need one right now?
Well, they need to tap in right now because the time is running out, and if you want it for Christmas, it has to be like now. So all I need to do is WhatsApp, which my number is 596-9925, or they can even Google Personalized Gifts and More. Once it's a Personalized Gifts and More in Jamaica, they will surely see it comes up and can just get in touch with me. Well, I have a team if I cannot do, because I cannot do everything, to be honest, on the workload. So I do have a team that works alongside with me that makes it happen.
Well, let me pull on your expertise now, Suzette, because on Monday right now, someone's looking and saying, I hope Suzette can help me out. I have a man in my life that I want to get a gift for men. What are the kinds of gifts that you'd like people to consider as they're now looking at gifting persons during the Yuletide season?
Okay, I have ties. Depends on the taste that that person has. Okay, I normally try to have a feel of what the person likes, color. If you have some sophisticated men who will wear a robe. You have those that really love the towels. I have also the crucians. I have tumblers. I have wine glasses, wine. To be honest with you, it's an endless situation. It depends on what that person likes.
And I think for men as well, some might say they're looking for electronics. They're looking for something that they couldn't or didn't buy for themselves earlier in the year. If you put that with a lovely robe, that looks like it would be a fantastic gift coming now before Christmas.
You got it. You got it.
So those are the men.
You got it.
That robe is going to be so lovely. A good towel. There are men right now, Suzette, you know that there are some men who have towels that have seen Gilbert. So it's clear that they might need something that you provide for them.
They saw Melissa.
Well, they saw Melissa, yes, but they've been as old as Gilbert. So these are threadbare towels.
Okay, I got you.
These are towels that have seen the fires and the floods. That's for men. For women, what is it that someone looking for a gift for a woman right now might consider if they're late in the Christmas buying game, but they want to get something that is lovely, but also, let's be frank, reasonably priced?
Okay, for women, at this point, to be honest, quick go, grab and go now. It's really the towels. Yes, a good grab and go, or the crucians, because those are easily done for me. It's something that will take me like 10 minutes or 20 minutes against where I would have to have days, because I can build from scratch. Most of the items in the store I build from scratch. So like sometimes a robe, suppose your taste is not one of the ready-made ones. You want one that I would make custom built. I would have to do that. Right? So that will take some time against one that I would just take out the package and just brand it. No. So for a quick fix, I would say that you go with those like crucians, things that are already done up, teddy bears, and I don't have to go in and, go in a different zone to do other things to it, or that just either print or stitch onto a quick fix. And they come beautifully packaged. Everything that comes out the store is already packaged. You can just give it just as is.
So that's beautiful, because for women, you might want to focus on those towels or those cushions, as Suzette said, but you might also want to focus on personal care or self-care items. So a spa day might be lovely, or a mask. You might want to think of makeup or cosmetics. Those cushions are going to be amazing also, but you might want handbags or scarves. So it's Monday, and Suzette is letting you know that there's ready-made items that are already pre-prepared because you're late and you waited late. And you waited long. So Suzette could have been something beautiful and elaborate for you, but you have to reduce your expectations now, so close to Christmas. But those might be options for women. Men can also get belts, and they can get accessories. They can get those scarves, those electronics. They might also get books or experiences. So those are the men and women taken care of in our lives. Suzette, you might have kids around too, and they're not going to be pleased to see the adults around getting gifts and not getting any themselves. What do we have for the children?
So even the babies, as you can see here, we have this Christmas stocking, personalized with the baby on from the baby stage. This is the child's first birthday. So what I did was got pictures of her, moments, and then I did it in a Christmas stocking. So here it is. So there are different things from the ones in the tummy up to you name it. So we have for the children, you can have the chairs personalized. They have those nice little comfy chairs in their rooms. Yes, I do personalize them. You have the teddy bears, you have the cushions, you have the blankets, you have the pillowcases, and I could go on naming and naming. It's a wide variety.
And I think that's so beautiful, not only the sentimentality of a gift like this that can last them for the rest of their life, that very precious memory for them and their family, but also then this idea of giving them several gifts that are then just for them. You can also think of gifts for children that are around toys or educational gifts. You might think of books for children as well. And so those are some options if, again, Suzette has to let you know that you've come too late. Come next year, make it early so that she can make sure that you and yours are taken care of. And finally, the elderly, Suzette, they often are going to tell you that they don't need much, they don't want a lot, but they too deserve gifts. What can we think of for them?
Well, for them, if they drink, you know, you can get a personalized cup, you can get personalized plates, you can get personalized robes as well. You can get, you know, towels for them, the rags. I do like for the, what do you call that, the homes. I'm a little bit surprised how they appreciate those rags with their names on it. And we have also cups for them. We have like wooden stuff. We do also the wooden with the names onto it, boxes with names on, personalized that you can use for different occasions. Depends on what you want to put, whether you want to put your books, you want to put toys in it, whether you want to put your shaver stuff, your bathroom stuff. So it's a utility box.
And that's so beautiful because that allows for then a person to look at it and use it in whatever way that they deem best in their home, never making it clutter, instead making it something that is a gift that they can cherish. Now, Suzette, do gifts have to be expensive to be meaningful, especially at this time?
No, it doesn't. And I think I'm very competitive because my gifts begins as low as 1,800. What do you get for 1,800? You can get a personalized rag. People like to see their names on stuff. And it comes with a little heart on it. They can go on Instagram. They can also go on Facebook and they see stuff. Or because it's personalized, sometimes I don't post it. However, if you just reach out to me, I can show personally what you can get. And so it's a wide variety.
I think that's so helpful that you've identified that as well, that persons can reach out to you and get additional information. But you've talked about people loving to see their names on gifts, especially washcloths and rags. What do you think makes personalized or individualized gifts resonate so much at this time?
At this, it's touching. And it's saying a lot. It means that you went out of your way to get something with a name, because you're not just going to go into a store and see your name. No, you're not. You're going to really thinking out of the box. What can I give this person? You just didn't randomly went into one of those stores and said, I'm looking for a gift. And you just take up something, a perfume or so. You literally realize that this person put thought in it.
And that thought is clear when you have someone like Suzette create this gift in advance for you with your own personalized touch from the gift giver themselves. Suzette McGee, owner of Personalized Gifts and More. You've certainly helped so many people know what they're giving for Christmas next year, but also throughout the year. Thanks so much for joining us inside Lead Story.
Thanks very much for having me. I'm located in Halfway Tree, the heart of Halfway Tree, 46, shop number 46 in Clock Tower.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
As a fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me. And I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Protecting Jamaica's borders is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Christmas is not only about what we give, but it's also about who we include. Joining us now is guidance counselor and social worker Marcia Panton Alexander. Thanks so much for joining us inside Lead Story. Hi, Marcia. Marcia, you're muted as we speak to you about who to include at the Christmas table tonight.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, no, thank you for joining us inside the show. Now, Christmas reveals a lot about us as a society. Help me understand, when we make choices about who to bring and who not to bring at the Christmas table, what does that say about us? Marcia?
All right.
Yes.
All right. From a guidance counselor / social worker's point of view, we normally try to include the elderly, the vulnerable. And the vulnerable normally includes the elderly, people who are overlooked, children, and so forth.
I think that's so helpful. Talk to us then in context about Christmas, because it's meant to be joyful, but for so many people, it's a very, very difficult time. What are some of the struggles that you see people experiencing during Christmas?
All right, some persons, they will go beyond just to make Christmas what it is. They just want to celebrate Christmas as everybody else want to, even when they cannot afford to. However, from a guidance counselor's / social worker's point of view, it would be nice if persons who can afford it invite persons who are not able to for like a Christmas dinner, offer like a present or something like that, or just do something for them for the Christmas.
And we have some rice and peas. We have some rice and peas, some baked macaroni and cheese showing on the screen right now with that sort of amazingness. Oxtail there as well, mixed veg that allows people to feel very included if they can be included. But this is not a very good time for some people in Jamaica. Some Christmases were always bad for them, but for some, Hurricane Melissa has made it even worse. When people don't feel the Christmas spirit at this time, what do you say to them?
All right. You can help them to bounce back. Sometimes you don't even know what to say to them. At this moment, you might not know what to even say to persons who are suffering from Melissa, what Melissa did to them. You don't even know what to say because maybe it's not about food at this moment. Maybe they're thinking about a roof over their heads.
And putting that in context then certainly does sober so many people who are focused on Christmas presents and the gifts that they could hope to receive. At this time as well, though, even before Hurricane Melissa, some people have been feeling lonely. Talk to us. Who are people more likely to feel lonely at this time of the year?
The elderly, for sure. Persons who are overlooked, the vulnerable, persons who cannot afford it.
And afford what exactly? Because we just had a discussion about Christmas gifts and Christmas guide, and it said to us you don't have to have a lot of money to celebrate Christmas, but people feel Christmassy, and we heard earlier in the show that people might want to spend even what they don't have in order to get in the Christmas mood. Is that something you recommend?
Recommend for persons to spend with what they don't have?
Well, some people will say, I'll make it back next year. It's just Christmas, especially if you have children or persons coming in to see you that you want to be able to put on a fantastic show for Christmas. Is that something that you think even in downtime they should do?
No. Christmas is just one day.
Well, it's going to be important for many Jamaicans as they rebuild their lives to have connection and support. Is this a good time, you believe, for persons to invite persons to their Christmas tables that they might not have invited before?
Yes, it's a good time, especially what the experience that we have had. It was not just poor persons that lost their homes and business and all of that. So it will be a good time, or it is a good time.
It's also going to be incredibly important for dynamics during this time to be watched as well. Talk to us about family dynamics, Marcia, because for many people, meeting up with their family that they might not have seen the entire year comes with some emotional complications. How do you make your way through that?
All right. For me, personally, Christmas is normally a time where family members do meet up from here, there, and everywhere. If we haven't met up during any other time of the year, we normally do that during Christmas time. No, I think it will be very emotional based on what has happened during Melissa. Persons will be grateful that they were spared and all of that. So it will be a bit emotional.
So they'll be going through things, they'll be feeling their own feelings, and now we're inviting strangers as well. Is that something that people need to manage carefully if they do what you've asked, which is embrace the vulnerable, embrace the elderly, and invite them to Christmas dinner?
Go again?
Is it going to be difficult to manage your family and as well as the people that you're saying we should invite to Christmas? The elderly, those who are vulnerable, those who don't have family themselves at this time?
Yes. It might not be easy, but with God in the lead, we will succeed.
I think that's very important for persons who want to do the reaching out that you've spoken about, Marcia. As a guidance counselor, you're also dealing with children, and children are a central part of the Christmas experience. What does it mean for a child to be involved in Christmas and Christmas preparation?
Very important. Children must be, you must always try to include children where necessary and where possible. Let them be a part of what is happening.
But for some people right now, Marcia, they aren't able to involve their children in Christmas preparations because they are going through a lot. How do you navigate the feeling that your child is expecting to see Christmas presents, is seeing people getting elaborate Christmas presents online, but not being able to give to your own child at this time?
All right, so you let them know from early what is really happening. Let them know, remind them that before all of this, you were able to get a gift. But based on what has taken place, things are not what it used to be. And help them to understand that is the reason you are to sit with your child, no matter what it is, explain to them, break it down at their own level where they will be able to understand. And things will work out. It will work out.
I think that's helpful for many persons who are going through a difficult Christmas themselves and having to have that conversation with their children, but also perhaps a wider family and friends. Marcia, before we go and close here inside Lead Story, help us understand now from the perspective of someone who counsels people and then gives support to individuals. What do you want people to remember about the real reason behind Christmas? Apart from the gifts and the appearances, what are they supposed to hold dear to their hearts?
Love. What we all need is love. And by reaching out to the vulnerable and all of that, we extend love.
I think that's so critical there and something that everyone can take away from this discussion. Marcia Panton Alexander, guidance counselor and social worker, thank you so very much for joining us inside Lead Story.
Thank you too for having me.
An absolute pleasure. As we heard the kind of emotional concerns that need to be put in place. You're seeing the ackee and saltfish there, you're having a good time, but Christmas reveals a lot about us as a society. It shows who works the best, what works, who we invite to our Christmas table, and what it is that it says about us as a society. It was an absolute pleasure to have another edition of Lead Story here with you inside our discussion about what Christmas is and who works the hardest, who spends the most, who puts everything together. On behalf of the entire CVM TV production team, I'm Jody Ann Quarry. Thank you for watching Lead Story, and during this holiday season, I hope you stay safe.
This year really tested us, but it also reminded us of something really powerful.
That Jamaica is strong when we stand together.
Despite everything, we are still checking in, showing up, lifting up each other. That's what Christmas is really about.
Tommy never lift me up yet.
No.
But listen, we can still find reasons.